Welcome to Morilibus Plays Minecraft. That is all. Goodbye. See you next episode. I haven't done too much more out on the other side of this portal. I decided to come over here and finally rework this sorting thing. So we have it set up so it's supposed to sort out wither skulls and coal. And then the rest is supposed to get deposited over here for us to flush into the lava. However, that does not occur. Trying to have like loose items and using ice streams, I ran into problems where hoppers aren't able to pick them up quick enough. So, and depending which ones go over in what order, I was having it so skulls were able to bypass this hopper that I had here, even though they were passing over it in the water stream. But because they weren't necessarily, they're usually, I think, the last item to drop as well. So I think the hoppers process the items in the order of their like decay timer. So whichever items are the oldest are going to try to get processed first. And if the skulls are able to get past the hopper before all the other items in front of it are able to get checked by the hopper, I don't think they will get picked up. And I think that's what was happening. I don't know 100%. So essentially all I'm going to do, and I've got it mostly set up already, we're going to keep that water stream going so that items will come up here and they will get sent through here. And I have to get rid of some light. Maybe that one's too close. I can also close this hopper in so he's not contributing. Or the hopper, I mean the hopper minecart. And if I could block, I could also block you in. Go like that, like that. And that's pretty good. And then as soon as I get another block here of any kind, which we could do a full block maybe, then we're good to go. Now I only have one hopper right there, which probably won't be enough. This is going to use the principle of when the item gets thrown through here, that hopper's close enough, even though it's in the corner there, that's going to pick them up. So it'll be able to store 5 stacks of items, and then it's going to trickle those items down into the hopper system below it. So it'll just send them through here and through this hopper line, and then I just got a basic sorter set up here for the wither skulls, and I've got another one set up over there for the coal. So the downside to this is it's going to be a lot slower than I would have liked. The nice thing about keeping them all in the water is it only takes the time for the items to move through the water to get flushed over here. Now I have to introduce them into a hopper line, have them processed, 2.5 items, what was it, 1 item per, no, I don't know, 2.5 items per second, I think, whatever the speed is. So I have to basically wait for all those items to get processed and all the junk items to get in. That I have to probably either have a hopper or a dropper set up to dispense them, or what I'm probably going to do is set up multiple droppers so that they get dispensed kind of at groups. But anyway, I'm going to continue doing that, and I'll bring you back when it's done. I'm running into a problem. I can't stack hopper minecarts anymore. Used to be able to just, if you put like one on a rail, you could still see the hitbox. I cannot. I tried a whole bunch. Maybe it's still possible, but I can't get it to work, so I'm going to try something else. Otherwise, I don't know if I want to do this. I might just set up a whole bunch of hoppers and not bother with the hopper minecart. But let's see if I can just push one down. Okay, good. Now the real question is, if I put another one down, sometimes a minecart will bump up against each other if you put a whole bunch of them in the same location, and it will generate a ton of lag. Now these just look like they're disappearing, but I assume they're falling down. Yeah, it looks like it. So I'm not sure if those are there and not moving. We should be able to probably hear it if they were moving around, so we're probably okay. So that's about 5, and that works. If we need to load more in, we should be able to. It kind of looks like they're moving though, doesn't it? I'm seeing some shimmering. I don't know if that's just some fighting of the Z's. Don't want to fight the Z's. Go to sleep when you're tired. Haha, that's awful. I'm sorry. I think we're okay. So a bunch of minecarts there. They're not making any noise. I'm trying to put up these blocks. If, for instance, we got rid of this block and I were to jump up here, I could probably bump them and cause them to move around a whole bunch. And again, we don't want that. So we'll just block it in. I think we're okay with these top ones since they fixed the hitbox in this version, I think. But when minecarts used to be raised up a lot higher up, you could get some weird things happening. Alright, so that'll be our input. Hi, guy. You going for a bath? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to close this back up. Everything should be good to go. So for that flesh, I don't know where that flesh is. It's up here, apparently. Hi. Now. Okay, I gotta get rid of that one too. And now it should get picked up. If it was actually down there, which I don't think it is. Here come all the zombies. Okay, so that part is done. Hi. Now I have to basically do the flush system, or the access. So this is where the hopper line is going to pretty much end in terms of picking up its last thing that we actually wanted to pick up, which is the coal. So now I'm going to set up something else here. So this is where the water stream used to meet up and where it used to get flushed out. So I'll probably keep that in there, and I'm probably going to bring... I want to set up a whole bunch of droppers to drop items in, but I don't want them to be too close so that they make a whole bunch of noise. So I think if we put them over 16 blocks away, they won't be heard. So I might do that, which is kind of a shame, which means I have to waste probably 16 hoppers to send them out that way. Now, probably not worth it. Let's just send them this way. So the way I'm going to do this is using the same method that I did in my auto smelting furnace on Olympus, and it's a system I've seen. I believe Tango Tech made it, but I don't know if that's 100% true. So what we're going to do is have a whole bunch of hoppers going this way. I'll probably have to get rid of this, at least for now, put it back in, but I think it has to go lower. And it looks like it makes a turn here anyway, so I could make it go down another level, no problem. Because here I want to do the little redstone part of it. So this is a method to basically split a load across a bunch of different hoppers. If you want, say, to have, instead of, it's going to go to the first direction. So right now all these are pointed that way. However, if I start adding in some droppers or hoppers going this way, it's now going to prioritize. Let's get rid of these blocks so we can see. It's now going to prioritize. So right after I throw stuff in here, it's not going to go into that system, or it shouldn't. Instead, it's going to go here, and then this guy's going to pull them out. So we can prevent that from happening by running a redstone line along these guys. Let's see here. We don't have water here, so we don't need those anymore. So if you run a redstone line on this block here, which will power all those hoppers down below, which will prevent them from automatically stealing items. So we want to divvy it up across these 8. So we're just going to put a comparator there, a torch here, and a repeater there, and then redstone here. And all this does is basically keep those bottom hoppers locked so they can't pull the items out until we get an item at the very end. So we should be able to test this. I have 8 of these hoppers set up, so we're going to split it up into 8. And if I just put it into this hopper, let's see here. If we put a stack, we should get evenly distributed 8. So you can see every once in a while that comparator fires and it powers that off. So what that does is it unlocks these hoppers for a brief second. So if you envision these items going across, at any given time there's going to be either no items in there or one item in there. But when the item gets to the very end there, all those hoppers have one item in them. So if that bottom row gets unlocked, it basically dumps that 8 into the hoppers below, and then the next 8 make their way across, and then they get sent down below. So it should divvy it up evenly, and it looks like it has. Now this one had some extra stuff in it from me mining above, I think. But you can see that working. So next, I'm going to set up some droppers that these are going to go into. And we're going to then just shoot these into another water stream. So the reason I'm doing this, and I don't even know if it's worthwhile, instead of just having one single dropper pulsing quicker, I'm going to have basically fewer hoppers pulsing less frequent. That makes sense. Okay, so water's going to be basically right in front of them. So I'll probably pave it out with stone and then throw some ice. So we got our dropouts, we have our ice stream. So I can do that. And that will take the items over there, underneath here. And I don't worry about that little guy. And should bring them right up against that. I just have that iron bar as a centering thing, I guess. Try to center them for the water right here, so they're in the middle. And then I just have a bar there at the end, so they should drop straight down. That's just kind of to hopefully help them fall into the pit there that I've set up. Okay, so now we've got this going. What we also want to do is probably every time this thing gets an item, so every time this receives an item, it's going to turn on and turn this torch off, which turns this off, which, as we said, drops those hoppers. So I also want to do is fire these guys when that happens. Now I wonder, what if we just took the redstone on this side instead of having it on that other side? That might work. Let's try that out. So let's get rid of that and make that a full block, or at least a slab. There we go. And we just put the torch on that side. And repeater. Oh. So now, okay. So now those hoppers should still be powered because they're being powered by that. And instead of it releasing them on this side, it'll release them on this side. But it'll have the added benefit, hopefully, that it will allow an item to get through and get spat out. So let's give that a test, shall we? Let's use cobblestone. We don't care about cobblestone. Now we might end up with stuff getting stuck in the droppers there. So there might be like a buffer of items that get stuck. Okay, we still have that stone that was in there. So currently this is not a good test because there's already items in the dropper. Oh, now it's empty. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's let it run through. Still dropping cobblestone, is it? No, it's done. It's done, and they are empty. That's actually a good sign. Okay. And I wonder if there's any in these hoppers still? Yes, okay. Let's see about that. If we clear them out, they might not be getting enough time, so we might have to, maybe we can adjust that repeater as well, and maybe that'll give more time, I don't know. But it looks like they're making them into this dropper, but they're not making them out of the dropper. But that might not be the case. Alright, test number 2. Let's go ahead and use cobblestone again. And let's get out of the way. Okay, so it fired, but there's nothing in it. Now it did, but only those 3. And only those. Okay, that's all 8. Doesn't seem to be all firing. Okay, 1 is stuck in the dropper. That's fine. It's like a little buffer item, basically. So there'll always be 1. That's fine. And how about now? It's done. And the droppers are empty. Okay, so it'll basically dispense... Oh, I don't have any... No pearls left to go back to the overworld, back to the village. Okay, that'll work. So we'll just have 8 items that get stuck in there, and that'll be a consistent of bones and swords and what have you, all that kind of stuff. But nothing to really be all that concerned with. It's not items we want. We just want to eventually get rid of them all. Yeah, we'll get to you in a second. Can you hang on? Actually, you guys are kind of good. Alright, so figured we could do a test before we call it quits here. Also been working on this box a little bit that we were talking about. So I think the plan is to have one mirrored over there. And have some statues on it, I think. I don't know. I talked about trying to do one of these guys. And I did go in a creative world and I messed around a bit with it. I just made them completely out of coal, though. I'm not sure what the best way of doing it will be if we do decide to do it. Hey, guy. We have coal, and if we look at him, he's got a bit of that cyan stuff happening, so we could use cyan clay. But then I don't know what else we'd use. Like, we could use cyan clay, coal, but then what? Then what do we use? I mean, wool, maybe, for the other grays? But I don't think there's really any other blacks that we could do. I don't know. Maybe you guys have ideas. We could also make him out of glass. The other problem with making him is I don't want him to have any spawnable spots. So if we do a kind of a 1x1 pixel based, his arm would be a 2x2 block. So this would be basically his arm if we made it so. And also the position in which I got no frames here, guys. Bear with me. I kind of want him to have that posture that he has right there. His arms straight out. Yes, like that. So two of them basically like that, but placed over there, and possibly mirroring each other with their sword arm. So their sword arm would be in one arm, just straight out, and we could have that going at probably a 45-degree angle. So that'd be easier to do with the blocks. So that could work. Just have to figure out how to build him and what to build him out of. So yeah, if we have a 2x2 like that as his arm, I could make him spawn-proof by having slabs, basically, on any top surface. Now we could go really wonky and not even make him out of coal or anything black and make him out of like cobblestone and stone or something, or even nether brick. But I'm not sure. I'll let you guys discuss that if you have any ideas on what we could do for that. Yeah, the other way to make him non-spawnable is to just add glass, or make him completely out of glass, or encase him in glass. And it didn't really look all that good when I was doing it in a test world. But, alright, so over here, this is the box, and I've been working on, I guess that's polished, basically mimicking these posts here, because we got something going with those, so maybe keep them going into this guy, so that everything looks like it's part of the same thing. It's one problem with the way I'm building. This is taking a while to build this place. I kind of get different inspiration from different areas, or like working on Olympus and then back here. It's hard to kind of keep my inspirations separate, so things tend to start looking the same. But hopefully still good. Okay, so that looks pretty good. This guy, I don't know if this looks very good though with the stairs. Kind of feel like there should be something here, like all the way, at least further out than the stairs, like up to here. Which I could do. We could do it. Or I need some kind of railing along the stairs. I could push this all the way forward out to here, and then there'd be another little landing from here to the top of it, but I don't think that'll look all that good either. Maybe I'll just do a little railing? Maybe a railing like this, right at this height. Let's see. Can we do it? Now we still got to change the flooring out where we're working right now as well. So this isn't going to be like the stone. It's going to have some glass going on, some embeddedness. It'll look something like up there maybe. I don't know. I don't have a plan for it just yet, or exactly what it will look like, but it will be probably one block lower. So if it's glass, you can see where this glass is. So this will probably just have the quartz as a trim, but the rest of this will be glass. So if that's the case, we go on to yoink, 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 yoink. That would be the railing. Not much of a railing. What if we do something like that? Does that mess that up? It certainly does. No. Okay, no connecting. It would just basically go straight back then. It would be like that. That would be the railing. Maybe there'd be a block under there. Depends what visibility this thing gets. We could probably put some glass, some lighting, maybe something else. Not too sure. Okay. Well, it's something. It gives us an idea. And then I'm not sure. We need something behind here. Probably some kind of clay, which I don't think I have, but something to give us a little strip of color or something. And then inside the block, I'm not sure again. if I'm going to fill it in a bit more. Put some glass, and then, okay. So we will call it, I'm going to go back and we'll give this guy a test. And then we'll go work on something else in the next episode. So we're going to have to leave this guy behind, because I'm sure you guys are probably getting sick of this place now. So maybe we'll head back to the village. I've been working a bit on the TNT factory idea, running into some snags, so that's kind of the holdup on that. So that's why we haven't gone back to that. But we could work on the beacon system back at the village or something else if you guys want to recommend it. It's raining. So this thing's working pretty good again because I got rid of most of the spawning space. There's still a few kicking around wherever you see a pigman, obviously. But for the most part, this thing's getting back up there in efficiency. But not in frames. Okay, but that's probably enough in there to do a test. And we can see if the new sorting filter system is actually working. Let's hope. Alright, as always, looks like there's more than there actually is. So there's 70-something in there. Man, at my inventory. Let's put our quartz and some other stuff in there. Give a bit of inventory space so we can pick some stuff up, maybe. Alright, let's hit the button. That should knock them all off the portal frame. Good. Somebody's on fire. I don't even know why. Why are you on fire? Oh, is he catching on fire from that lava? That's fantastic. Okay. Let's kill these guys off. We'll probably get some more skulls. Or how many skulls we got? 33. Now, I might want to rework this system now. The other bad thing is, this is basically just holding all the items. Whereas if it was dropping them as I killed them, it would process them quicker. But then we wouldn't really be able to do our XP splitting thing if we changed it to just hoppers here or something. So anyway, there's some skulls in there. We could see them. So let's just go ahead and drop them. Let's try to get our XP separator to work. That should do it. So now eventually we should hear some clicking if it all worked out well. And that was at 33. So the item should have gone through there and should have made it up. Oh, I heard a tick. That's a good sign. So now it's spitting out junk items. See some swords, a bone. Yeah, these three aren't firing. Wonder why. Not always, anyway. Are they just not getting items? Maybe I'm just not seeing them drop. Okay, so that's good. And we should be getting coal. And so long as we don't see any of that stuff fall over here, I guess we're okay. That cobblestone's from us messing around before. But you can see this is going to be a lot slower of a process. Might as well pick up our XP. So instead of everything falling down at once, we have to kind of wait and watch them kind of trickle out in groups of 8. Trickle out in groups of 8. Anyway, before I start to sing a rhyming song of embarrassment, we will call it here, guys. So I'm going to also try to work on cosmetics here, but with so many building projects going on at the same time, it's hard to find time and motivation to kind of flesh one out completely. But hopefully I will find the time. Alright, so again, thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying the series. And as always, any suggestions, leave them in the comments section below. That's all. Goodbye. See you next time. Adios.